We're going full cottagecore this week, and I'm attempting to make an outfit inspired by all of the images that my Pinterest feed has burnt into my retinas. But first we have to go to Spotlight because I'm 35 and I still don't have my shit together. So let's go. It's been about 3 days since I went to Spotlight and I have made zero progress. Honestly, I think I've been procrastinating a little bit because I am trying to do this without any patterns once again. And I think my brain is just feeling a little bit intimidated because this is even harder than the skirt that I made last time. So we're having a little bit of perfectionist non-start, I would say, where I don't think I'm going to be able to get it perfect or even close to what I'm imagining, so I just don't start to begin with, and I've been battling that a little bit. But I can't put it off any longer. I have to actually make a start on it. I did already show you roughly what we're going for. We are going for that cottagecore Renaissance vibes. We want to look like a pretty maiden that needs to run through a field of flowers. Maybe by the end of this, I will actually run through a field of flowers. We will see if I feel brave enough to film in public, because just doing that little bit at Spotlight was like, oh, it was awkward. It was real awkward. But anyway, let's get on to fabric choices. I did already have this green one in my stash. I bought it for a completely different project, never got around to doing it. And so now it's perfect for this. I have a plain dark green rayon, which is gorgeous. It's flowy. Focus, camera, focus. Come on. It's gorgeous. It is flowy. It is just, it feels so nice. And that's my partner's favorite color, so bonus. And then for the stays. Now, this is the part, like the dress, I'm not worried about. The dress, I know I can figure out, especially because it's going underneath a fitted garment. The dress, I'm not concerned about. I already have that half figured out. But the stays are something that I have never made before. I've never made anything even slightly similar to a pair of stays. And it's terrifying. I also haven't even gone and got the boning for this. I'm probably just going to run to Bunnings and grab some cable ties because I'm not paying for actual boning. This is my first pair. It's probably going to fail, which is why I'm kind of scared to do it, because my fabric for the stays is this. And I don't know if the camera is even picking up how absolutely divinely gorgeous this floral print green linen is. This is something that I got from a fabric store online. It was a New Zealand fabric store. I'm pretty sure it was called the Fabric Box. It's a designer dead stock. I think I purchased this in the Black Friday sales along with a couple of other fabrics, and I bought it specifically to make a pair of stays because I thought it is the most gorgeous fabric and just looks like it belongs in some sort of cottage garden or Renaissance painting. Like, it is so pretty. So I am terrified to screw this up. I do have 2 meters of it, and the stays shouldn't take up more than half of this at most, but it does scare me. I am also fully aware that because it's linen and it's quite flimsy, I will need to interface the hell out of this to get it to behave how I want it to behave for a pair of stays. So I am in 2 minds about whether I just use the interfacing I already have because it's what I have, even though I know it sucks, or if I order woven fusible for that because it's not cheap. So I'm still debating on that. For a lining layer for the stays though, I picked up this cotton, I think it's a drill. It's a drill or a duck, I can't remember which it was, but it is a much sturdier fabric. And it's just got this cute little mustardy brown yellow background with a sun print on it. I didn't care what it was, to be honest. I picked something that would kind of match the vibe, but at the end of the day, it's a lining. It doesn't have to be fancy. So we have that for strength. In combination with the linen being interfaced, it should be strong enough. I am hoping. Fingers crossed I don't regret all of my life choices later on when I am struggling hard with this. It could be. Is this foreshadowing? Is it foreshadowing? I feel like it's foreshadowing. Anyway, we're gonna put those away before I overthink this too much. And basically the goal for tonight is to at least get my dress cut out. All right, hair is going up. Hair is moving out of the way. Whoa! You be careful. Let's cut some fabric. This is a very scientific way of measuring, just FYI. And just like that, we have a very basic front and back to our shift dress that we are doing under these stays. The way that I figured out how to do this is a little bit unconventional. I kind of half watched a tutorial on how a pattern that is already released is constructed. Looked at the pattern pieces and went, cool, that's just a couple of trapezoids, I think. I'll verify that later. That's just a couple of trapezoids with like an armhole shape cut into them and rectangle sleeves with the same armhole shape cut into them. I'm pretty sure I could make that. That might bite me in the butt, but you know, we're just rolling with it at this point. It was the easiest way to do it, and I really don't care that much. As long as it fits the vibe, we're going with it. Good morning, and it's not morning. Good afternoon, and welcome to day technically 3, but we're going to count it as 2. The reason for that is I did a tiny bit last night, but it was like 20 minutes worth and I didn't film it, so it doesn't count. So this is day 2. So that pretty much means where we are right now is on one of the weekend days. Me and Miss 9 went to Spotlight. We got the things that we needed there, except I forgot half my list because I didn't look at the list, which was the whole reason I made the list. But anyway, we got half the stuff I needed. I'm going to have to make another trip or pray that Amazon has what I want and that they do quick delivery on it. But that's not today. Today we are working on the chemise dress, which I cut out the other night that you people saw. And that was technically day 1 of working on this, I guess. We got the basic shape cut out. I know what I'm doing with it. I just need to actually sew it. So what I did last night was I rethreaded my overlocker because Lola has been chucking a tantrum and was not overlocking correctly. So I've rethreaded her, tested her out. She's working great now. She just needed a little bit of love. Needy bitch. And now that she's done, we have overlocked our big seams on both the sleeves and the sides before I sew them together because I want to iron them flat. I don't want to overlock them together and make them bulky. I'm using rayon, so I feel like that bulk would be kind of noticeable. Maybe not, I don't know. It was a thought I had, so I did it separately. So now that that's done, I'm gonna attach my major seams. So that is my side seams and putting my sleeves in. Once the sleeves are in, it's essentially just a rolled hem at the bottom, and then we've got to fold down the top of the neckline and insert some elastic to make it the right size. I'm probably going to put some elastic at the bottom of the sleeves too to make them a bit poofy because that fits the vibe. We're going for that cottagecore, although some could argue it's maybe a little bit Renaissance fair vibe, but it's cottagecore. We're going stays, we're going loose flowy dress, run through a meadow full of whimsy kind of vibes. So it's not very complicated. I just need to get it done so I can actually draft up the pattern from the tutorial that I'm using. And yeah, but I'm procrastinating. And I'm continuing to talk and procrastinating more. I take no responsibility for this procrastination. Shark Week hit me hard and I am flippin' exhausted. So I'm gonna go make a coffee. I'll be back. let's just take a minute, because since I made this, I haven't actually worn it. And to be fair, when I did that reveal footage at my mum's house saying that I wanted to wear this for Christmas Eve, I wore it until I was finished with that, and then I took it off. I had spare clothes packed because I was not hanging around my family all dressed up. We're a family of PJ people. Even the kids had cute little matching onesies on. They was so adorable. It was, mwah, loved it. Best Christmas Eve. We always do carols at Mum and Dad's, and it is just my favorite tradition of the year. But anyway, this is the dress from my first video, and I was so sure that this was never going to see the light of day again, because I have joked numerous times that my thighs love each other so much, they rub together so much that the friction could cause a wildfire. But when I did my recent deodorant order, I ordered specifically from Woohoo Body because I am a sensitive skin girly, and their bicarb-free mellow natural deodorant is the best thing on the planet. It's like the one thing that my skin does not react to. All of the natural deodorants, I get rashes, I get really itchy. I love them, I love the concept. I find they work better than store-bought ones, but I react to them, except for this one formula. So when I was doing my order, I wanted to get free shipping, because why pay for shipping when I can just order more product and not pay for shipping? So I tried their roll-on stick ones that specifically say they work as anti-chafe sticks. And they had the holiday scent ones listed a little bit cheaper, so I grabbed the Jingle and the Spice since they were still available. The Jingle is amazing. It smells like peppermint. So just 10 out of 10 scent anyway. I did try it on my underarms. The first time I used it, I didn't react. So maybe that is another bicarb free one in their range that I won't react to. Unfortunately, it's hit and miss, because sometimes it's not the bicarb. Sometimes it is the scents themselves that react with my skin. So I do have to test things out, and then just, if it gives me a reaction, I just don't use it again. If it doesn't, great. Sometimes it'll be fine for a month and then I'll develop a reaction. It's a whole mess. I really should see a dermatologist. Anyway, this is a massive side tangent. This anti-chafe stick I put on my thighs. My thighs smell like peppermint, which is just fantastic to begin with. And I'm not chafing. So I successfully wore the skirt that I made last time to Spotlight on the weekend, no chafing thighs, and it was above 20 degrees, which is like a big no-no for me having my thighs rubbed together. And today, even just bumming around the house in this dress, I feel so comfy, but I also feel cute. I feel adorable. It is just amazing. 10 out of 10. If you're an Australian person and you like your natural deodorants, highly recommend the Woohoo Body. If you're a big girl like me and you have thighs that just love each other too much, the anti-chafe sticks, so far so good, love them. We're doing good. We've made some progress. I have both of my sleeves attached. I have the side seams done. So basically now it's just working out the elastic at the top, at the bottom of the sleeve, and hemming it. But I'm gonna have to take a break because I need some food, but I need to feed the baby first. So basically I need to get everyone fed, and then I'll come back and keep going, potentially. Look, I have a habit of like saying I'm gonna come back and then coming back like 10 hours later. I stitched my elastic together, only to find out that it was twisted, and now I have to unpick that, untwist it, and then restitch it. even though I checked to make sure it wasn't twisted, and it wasn't twisted, but apparently it was, so I'm gonna do that. Procrastinated just a little bit too hard with this project, and I'm pretty sure the last time I worked on it was Tuesday. Toddler under the tripod. When I finished the dress, it's now Sunday, and I only just did the stays pattern today. I did 2 different versions. I've done 2 mock-ups. I'm gonna insert some footage while I continue talking, and I'm counting it as good enough. We are on the good enough bandwagon. So I'm not going to be a perfectionist about it. We're going to get the thing done, and you know, anything that needs tweaking, we've learnt that for next time. But the best thing to do is just start. So that's what I'm going to do. Ah, Pokey! Jesus Christ, dog. My dog tried to rip my microphone out. So I'm going to start cutting out my fabric. I'm going to use the interfacing I had because I was too lazy to go and get the better kind. Fingers crossed. Could be a disaster. But regardless, that's what we're going with. Anyway, guys, don't let me procrastinate any longer. We got to get this thing done. Otherwise, it's not going to get done. I'm trying to work, buddy. This is not helpful. I do appreciate the kisses. Hmm? I appreciate your kisses. That's a good boy. We gotta get this in quick because my camera is about to die on me, and it is what it is. Day 3 was not as productive as I would have liked, and this time it wasn't due to procrastination. It was due to the fact that I hit a pin again. That's 2 videos in a row that I've completely cocked that up. And I had to go fishing inside my sewing machine to get said pin out. So that was fun. And I lost an hour and a half because I didn't realize that when I was trying to screw a part of the machine back together, I was turning the screws the wrong way, and that's why they wouldn't go in. So it is what it is. But anyway, I got one boning channel sewn. I didn't film it because I was just trying to get it correct. But I will do the rest of the boning hopefully tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All right, so where did we end up last night? I think I got one boning channel sewn. It's better than none. But that's essentially what we're doing right now. We're gonna go through and we're gonna sew as many boning channels as we possibly can. I'm sewing these based off vibes. I probably could look up how to place them, but we're just gonna go with our heart on this one because I'm over this project. I think it's my perfectionism, like it's looking like it's not gonna turn out how I wanted it to, and so my brain is just like, well, it's trash, I'm trash, we may as well throw it all in the bin. But we're gonna try and push through that and get this done. So boning channels it is, inserting our boning, and then we can close the bottom. Once the bottom is closed up, it is grommets, and then bias binding. And my ribbon for the project is coming, should be here tomorrow. But anyway, that's what we're gonna get to, so I'm gonna set you guys up. We're gonna get the boning done as quickly as we possibly can because I don't want it. Last stitching line for the boning channels, and then we are done and we can cut the boning and just spend a cozy couple of hours on the couch doing all of that. So let's get it done. I can't find my magnet for this, so we're just holding it. Last night I did the boning and I seriously questioned a whole heap of my life choices up until this point, including whether or not I actually want to commit to making a corset for my wedding, which we don't even have a date for yet, but you know, that's a lot more boning than what I did, and what I did was enough. So, might be reassessing my entire plan with that outfit, but I did get the boning done, and prior to doing the boning, I did not hold a whole lot of hope for this being a wearable piece of clothing. After the boning, it's a little bit hard to tell because I haven't got lacing in it yet to be able to see how it's actually fitting properly, but like the gist of how it looked okay. So I got a little bit more hope now. But that means that before I can move on with finishing the sleeves and doing the bias binding to complete the garment, I actually need to get the grommets in so that I can lace it up and actually see how it's fitting, how short I want to take the sleeves or the straps, whatever you want to call them, how short I want to make them, and then yeah, go from there. So basically it's hammer time. So at this point I tried the stays on with the boning and the grommets and it was perfection. I was actually gaining some confidence at this point. Now that I have all of that done, it is time to make bias binding. I hate bias binding. I'm very much regretting not going to Spotlight and spending the $8 that it would have cost to make my life so much easier, because they had bias binding in pretty much this color for $8, but I didn't want to spend $8, and now I have to make bias binding. I don't want to make bias binding. I should have spent the $8 bloody. I'm regretting all of my life choices. But it's the final stretch. Like, once I've done the bias binding and attached it, and hand stitched it to the second side and put the final 2 grommets in, we are done. And that sounds like a lot of steps, but in the grand scheme of making these stays, it's really not that much. I don't actually have that much work left to do if I just do the work, but I don't want to do the work. The dog also really wants to come inside. Pogie is such a sook. Be right back. Does someone want to come make this bias binding for me? Like, I made cake. I can provide cake. I was gonna do all of the hand sewing tonight. I did just finish sewing the binding on and clipping it all. So it's all ready for me to hand sew it. But my back is currently like aching like a mofo because I was hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame for majority of that time. So I'm not doing it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. Probably, maybe, if the kids behave through the day so that I can actually sit on the couch and stitch while I watch them and play with them. We will see. But regardless, I'm done for tonight. I'm gonna go eat some more cake because god damn it, none of you guys came to do this bias binding and I deserve cake. So I'm gonna go eat cake. I'll see you tomorrow, bye.
I did not actually do the hand sewing the next day. In fact, it took me multiple days to get the hand sewing done. It was a big endeavor. Absolutely. But I did get it done. And then all that was left to do was lace the corset with my leftover knowledge from my days of working at Sexyland and put it on. And without further ado, let's get into how it turned out.
Well, this was a wild adventure. I'm surprised that it turned out this good. It actually looks like what I wanted, which is great. I did spend a lot of time procrastinating. There was a lot of procrastination involved. Mainly because it was hard and I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and if I don't do something right the first time, I have a hard time just unpicking and starting again. I tend to throw it in the corner and ignore it for the next 6 months, and then by the time that 6 months is over, I'd rather throw it out than actually continue it. It is a very big flaw that I am trying to work on. But change doesn't happen overnight. So I started this off probably, I think I started it Sunday. It is now Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. So basically I had all of Sunday to work on it, and I don't know, I'd do like a little bit and then I'd get annoyed and I'd go and sit, and then I'd do a little bit more and I'd get annoyed and I'd go and sit. And then I just kind of kept putting it off. Like I didn't want to work on it through the day like I normally do when the kids would give me a chance. Like I just didn't want to work on it. And that was probably until Wednesday when I finished doing the boning, and I tried it on yesterday and I was like, you know what? This actually looks okay. Like, it looks like it's gonna work. It may not be perfect. There's definitely some flaws. I'm gonna need to get some embroidery thread because the grommets, this linen is so flimsy that it's already pulled out of the grommets, and that's not gonna be good long term. It is gonna fray. So I need to go and get some embroidery thread so I can cover the metal grommets and make them stitched eyelets. Basically, I didn't do that because it was going to be really time consuming and I didn't want to do that. I still don't want to do it, but I don't want this to fall apart, so I'm going to do it anyway. Also, the bias binding. I made the bias binding out of rayon because I was too lazy to go to Spotlight and pay $8 for bias binding. It was like a little bit of being stingy and being lazy. I regret because rayon and bias binding, it was a pain. It's so slippery. I did not like doing that. I paid for my laziness, definitely, with that one. But it did work out, and it's probably some of the neatest hand stitching I have ever done. So a win is a win, kind of as such. I feel like I need to go frolic in a field of flowers. So let's say this worked out fantastic. I'm super happy. I can't believe I did this without a pattern and just used like measurement tutorial run through. Like, come on, that is incredible. Like, I'm not even that great at sewing, guys. Like, the fact that I could do this, I think anybody could do it with a little bit of patience. And the ability to push through procrastination, because that was a big key part of this. So, you know, if you can do that, you can do this. But yeah, let's call it a win. I will be back in 2 weeks with another video. And basically, I really enjoyed having you all hanging out with me for this couple of week period between videos. It's been fun, real fun. If you enjoyed this video, drop me a mushroom in the comment box below because I feel like I need to go foraging. But I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.